when multiple Olympic athlete and all-round powerful bloke, Ben the Bounce Simons, invites you to a private gym here in Sheffield for an upper body strength, power and pump session, you say yes, you shut your mouth, and you embrace the fact that you're probably going to learn a lot. He is just in there now writing the session on the board. Let's see what's in store for us. And here we are, Benny boy.
G mate.
How we doing?
I'm good, mate.
Good. So, upper body today, what are we doing?
Right, so we've got an upper body session. We have got a CNS primer here. We're going to do a med ball shot toss into the wall.
Nice.
Get a little bit aggressive, get us primed for the session. Straight into our main push, which is going to be bench press, classic 5x5 with 3-minute recovery.
Classic.
Finish that up with chin-ups. We're going to do strict chin-ups. None of this short range of motion, 3x6 with 2 minutes in between.
Yeah.
Then we've got 2 pump sets. We've got concentration curls for the biceps, 3x10, right, left. That's going to be a circuit, so no recovery in between those sets. And a pump on the shoulders. Again, we've got lean away, lateral raise. Again, 3x10, right and left, which will be a circuit. So essentially, when we do one arm, the other arm is resting. We run that straight through. Nice quick session. We're going to get a nice pump on it for strength.
Amazing. So, one of the videos that I released literally probably about 10 days ago from when this is going to come out to see you guys, is the 5 biggest gym mistakes that I see a lot of newbies doing on a daily basis in the flipping weights room. And one of them is they over-glorify volume and under-glorify intensity. One of the things that I love about Ben's methodology there, and obviously we come from the same background because Ben is a bobsleigh buddy of mine, but the reason that he continued and went to quite a few Olympic games and I didn't is because he's fucking better than me. But in terms of the intensity is always high. 1 primer, 2 strength lifts, and then a couple of functional hypertrophy stuff at the end. That is enough to elicit the strength and muscle building effect that you want. You don't need to overcook the volume at the expense of getting anywhere near failure in terms of intensity. And that's what I like about Ben's stuff. It's short, it's sharp, it's snappy. You don't need to spend 3 hours a day in the gym. You can do a 45 to 55 minute session and get an unbelievable benefit in the process. A few little spine and shoulder mobility bits for me, and then onto the shot toss. Neural primer's done. How you feeling after the med ball toss?
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Bench. I don't know when the last time I did bench 5x5 was.
It's probably why you're so weak in bench.
It's probably one of the reasons I'm just so comparatively inferior to the fucking handsome Viking behind me. 5x5, what is your target of weight, Mr. Simons?
Interesting. I think peak weight 120 today.
120 for him, probably less for me. Let's go.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down. I'm too fly. This is my time. Ready to shine. Brighter than all of the lights. Cause when it's game time, seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Beating the buzzer like this is my time. This is my moment. You better bet that I'm on it. Ready and set, I'ma own it. Blast it to 10, then keep going. There ain't no coasting. I never settled on play. Putting the kettle to flame. I go 100 all day, foot on the pedal, no brakes. 10, 9, paid all my dues, waited in line. 8, 7, now it's about time that I take mine. 6, 5.
Benny Simons, 4 sets out of 5 done, just 1 to go. How are we feeling?
It's feeling heavy, surprisingly. It never ceases to amaze me how quickly deconditioning can come into the upper body, especially on the old bench press, one of my favourite lifts, but got to start somewhere, so this is the rebuild.
Got to start with a rebuild, I love it. Set 5 of 5, let's get it done.
King of the jungle, heart of a lion. 4, 3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time, I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time, ready to shine. Brighter than all of the lights, cause when it's game time, seconds away and the game's on the line.
Med ball shot, tick. Bench press, tick. unload the bar, and then on to chin-ups. So this gym, small as it may be, has flipping everything other than a belt with a chain. But we shall not complain, we shall adapt and overcome. So a 15 kilo dumbbell, for me, it's basically get the reps done as quick as possible before it inevitably slips through my skinny fucking adductors and starts chafing on my knees. So get the reps done quick.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time.
To avoid the skinny adductors problem, I'm going to show you another way. So load the weight onto your chin up.
You better bet that I'm on it. Ready and set, I'ma own it. Blast it to 10, then keep going. There ain't no coasting, I never settled on play. Putting the kettle to flame.
Benny boy, what do you think the benefits of that are compared to gripping it in your knees or whatever?
You get a cheeky little tib pump, but that's about it, mate. I don't think either are.
In case you want to be a ski jumper, you've got to get that tib anterior working.
Yeah, but I feel like it stops you also kipping at all. Sometimes when it's between the knees, it is easy for people in that closed position to start kipping the knee slightly. When it's on the feet, it's very easy to keep that strict kind of dish position in the chin up, so you're not getting into some crazy positions and start compensating and kipping to get your last few reps.
Nice. Set 2 for me, I'm going to give it a go.
No, I don't miss. MJ all hits. Watch me pop off, I'm the king now. Moonwalk to the ring now. Keep on wondering how. Let that.
Jimbo, what's the verdict?
I enjoy that actually, yeah. It actually forces you to go a little bit slower, I think, because otherwise, because obviously the weight's kind of at the end of the fulcrum, you would swing. And we're a fair distance away from the wall, but as you can see, it does tap a little bit.
Yeah.
It forces you to go a little bit slower, and well, probably for both of us, that's a good thing, because we're both so fucking elastic.
Yeah, it keeps you super accountable in the movements, so you don't cheat
100%.
it.
Which is definitely a component of my movement patterns that I need to work on, and have been working on recently actually, is just going a little bit more, shut up Siri, going a little bit more slow and under control. So yeah, big fan. Right, so innovation work done in form of the primer, bench press done, chin-ups now done. Hardest part of chin-ups for me was actually, it felt a lot better having the weight down by my feet than between my knees. But as I said a minute ago, it does flipping force you to go a little bit slower and more controlled. But when you're naturally quite dynamic, actually quite elastic, and everything you do is nice and dynamic, that's probably good accountability to have. Now, pure t-shirt fillers, Ben, isn't it?
Absolutely.
What are we doing now?
We're doing concentration curls, proper prison workout, mate. So 10 each arm, straight through. So your recovery is the other arm doing the set. So.
And how many rounds?
Do it 3 rounds.
Start with round 1 for Ben. Let's go.
All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. Knock, knock. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends.
Done? 3. Boom. Good work, brother.
Turning up the crowd when I hit him with the pow. Yeah, the party never ends, cause if you want that, whoa, I can give you more. Come on, yeah, let's go. If you want that, whoa, I can give you more. Come on, yeah, let's go. I got that wow. Who wants some?
Mate, that was like the first set. I was like, what the fuck have I done? I should have gone heavier.
Yeah.
Set 2. It was almost like there's no like appreciating level of fatigue. It was absolutely fine up until like rep 8, and then the last 2 were horrendous. And then on set 3, it was like the last 4 or 5. But it's like it just falls off a cliff. It's not like when you're doing a push movement where you can feel it getting gradually more tired, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a pull movement, anything that's, I have it as pull-ups as well, and anything that's kind of bicep or pull based, I can do it, and then 2 reps later, I just can't do any. It just fucking falls off a cliff. But Jesus, like,
it's very acute in an isolation exercise. You just
Yeah.
feel it, and it's really, especially in this, it's really hard to compensate. Obviously, I was a little bit on my last set, just trying to throw my upper body around and make the reps. But Yeah, that's the beauty of going kind of, if you go left, right, because also there's always one arm stronger than the other. I think when you do barbell bicep curls, you're always compensating one side to the other. Certainly my left arm is lagging massively. So I really love this as a finisher. It's great.
Yeah, I agree. And I heard something on a podcast recently, which is like men tend to double down on lower reps generally, and women tend to double down on higher reps generally. So one of the biggest, one of the lowest hanging fruit for guys to, you know, basically develop an all-round kind of physique and strength profile is to do sets of this higher rep range, which being both a bloke and a bloke that comes from explosive sports, both of us, like 30 reps is just fucking unheard of. So I'm used to doing something, if I'm like 4 reps in and I don't feel as though it's hard, I'm like, oh, I've done this wrong. But there's a lot more to do when you're doing 30 total. So I can feel some blood in my guns now, feeling pretty good. One more exercise, right?
One more. We've got a similar thing for shoulders. Let's go.
Oh my word. So we are going for the final part of the session. Pumpy Pumpy Pump 2, which is, you can't really read it, it's not focused. There we go. Lean away lateral raises 3 times 10. So in a similar kind of format to what we just did with the bicep curls. The fact that we're leaning away on kind of on the side of your body on an incline bench. Benny boy, why are we doing this?
Well, usually with a lean away, you'd find something like this over here. And you lean away like so. And go into it like this. That's obviously going to give you more work at the top of the range. What you find with standard lateral raises is at the bottom here you've got very little tension, right? And then you kind of find that tension there, and so you're not working through the full rep. Whereas when we lean away like this, we've got tension right from the bottom of the movement. What I find if you're really trying to target the middle delt, this is a great exercise for it. Because when you're standing, obviously you're missing tension at the bottom here. And when you lean away, that bottom bit doesn't actually exist. So you come further up here, and I think that, I feel like that hits the trap more. And I'm really looking for middle delt here.
Okay, so middle delt or trap, there's 2 different options, but because we're going for middle delt, this is the variation that we've chosen.
Okay, similar concept to the concentration curls. We're going to run through 3 times 10. Left, right, or right, left. The recovery is going to be the other arm working. So this will get pretty tasty pretty quickly. Let's go.
It's been dark way too long in this place. That bright smile long gone been replaced. From ear to ear I see that fear in your face. Tell me when the last time you felt safe, cause there's some evil people in the streets. Evil at your front door, creeping while you sleep. It's time to raise up, show that.
Fuck me, that's hard. Holy shit. Fucking Jesus Christ.
I can show you how to be
Control
strong.
it.
Come on, follow me.
Come on, Jimmy.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. We go through bad days, hard times, low pay, high.
Fuck me, that was humbling. Jesus, from the first bit, like I think it's just your delts when you do normal lat raises are used to working at a certain, but that range there, from there to there, is just untouched, literally, unless you kind of like laterally pivot your body.
Did you feel that in the delt more than the trap compared to a normal lateral raise?
It's a good question. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of tune into it now. I think so. Yeah. I think it was just the range. I don't think. Obviously, it's not the resistance. It's like 7.5. But it is just the range of tension that it's under is just so much more than you normally do if you just do them bilaterally and standing. Fucking mate, literally from the first rep.
The pump
like,
is wild.
Yeah,
and you get
pump,
some stretch on it as well.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't like I was looking at the anatomy of the delts versus traps and how they innovate the shoulder. I was just doing like trial and error really because I'm very trap dominant. And for me, this version of the lean away was really hitting the delt more than the trap for me just from a sensory point of view.
I've had a pump in my biceps before. Obviously, a pump in different parts of your body, pump in my quads from doing sleds. I don't know if I've ever had a pump specifically in like the mid part of the delt, which is very much what I feel now. And it's kind of, yeah, it's got some fucking blood in it. Happy with that. That is the session done. Benny boy, fist bump. Well, how long was that session total?
I reckon 35, 40 minutes.
35, 40 minutes. I mentioned in the intro that, again, this is incredibly consistent with something I'm increasingly vocal about, but have been a disciple of for a while, which is so many people in the fitness industry, especially the functional fitness and CrossFit industry, fucking shots fired, but no shame. They do massively, would you agree with this? They massively over glorify volume and how a session would look on paper, as opposed to looking at a session that's stripped back in terms of volume, but attempting to execute it with more intensity.
Yeah, I definitely think that efficiency's gone out the window and that the grind culture is kind of ruining how efficient people can be in the gym. And especially when you've got a busy life and you want to get the most out of your session without going overboard, efficiency is key. And we kind of hit everything we wanted to hit in that session within 40 minutes. We got strength, we got a nice pump, a little bit of an ego pump at the end.
Yeah.
Feeling good and we're ready to go.
There we go, boom, job done. And I just think generally that if you can work intensely enough, Ben, it'll be interesting to see if you kind of agree with this, for the fucking size of this guy. Jesus Christ, you can understand why he's an Olympian. If you can graft hard for 50 to 60 minutes, in my opinion, doubling the session time and taking nearly 2 hours might give you an extra 4% benefit in performance and adaptation. And for me, doubling the time input for an extra 3, 4, 5% is not fucking worth the trade-off. And I think for most people, if they looked at it through that lens, they would absolutely vehemently agree, but I just don't think many people look at it in that way and just see now, because of the glorification of these absurdly long, absurd volume workouts, they don't think they can get a good benefit and elicit the training adaptation they want within 45, 50 minutes. But I'm guaranteeing you can if you approach it in this way. So that is our upper body session done. I'm happy with that. Ben, are you going to be on another vlog before the week is out?
Yes, I think so. I think that one went
100%.
pretty well.
100%.
We may as well film it as you're here, bro.
As I'm here and we have this lovely facility, let's get it done. But for now, it is 18:51. That is the upper body done. I think it's time for a refeed. Absolutely. You beautiful people, if you did enjoy this video, please do smash that like button. Like for Ben. Any questions on anything that we've covered today, either Google it or do put it down in the comment section below, which will help feed the algorithm. And as always, beautiful people, stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome. And I'll see you all in the next video.